We all know reading is fundamental. When you visit KB's bookshelf, you can find books in multiple genres to entertain and educate. Writers can even find literary services of value to their success, like our ever popular manuscript critique and book review. Reading allows us to escape, explore, and share our experiences. I hope you'll visit us today at www.kbsbookshelf.com and allow us to take you on your next adventure.
Our the man of the hour, you know what I'm saying? Um Without further ado, I still gotta get my drum roll piece in, man, but I promise y'all I'll get it in next week, man. Without further ado, hey man, put your hands together for the homie DK Walker. What's up, homie?
Man, I appreciate the love. I appreciate the love. Thank you for having me on your show.
Man, I ain't doing it because if it wasn't true, I wouldn't say it, bro. You know what I'm saying? What's good
Oh,
with
man,
you?
man, same old, man. You know what I mean? Just trying to stay alive today. Just trying to stay alive in these trying times.
I got you, bro. Hey, man, hasn't this COVID stuff been a mess, man?
Man, between like real talk, like if authors, and I know I don't want to jump into it right away, right? But if authors needed inspiration, just pay attention to what's going on in the world. Like between COVID, between what's going on in politics, you got so much material to write from. Like if you talking about writer's block, something wrong with you. Just
Man.
cut on the news. I promise you, and break out your pen and your notepad, and you got more material in a little bit. But yeah, 2020 and the beginning of 2021 is one for the ages, my brother.
Man, and if you ever want to switch genres, boy, and to try something new, this is a fine time to do it, man.
I promise
Salute
you
to,
that.
yeah, salute to my brother um Vader in the building. What's up, man? I see you. Appreciate you stopping through, man. Man, I see you be busy on the social medias, man. I see every morning on your IG, man, you always giving out writer points and stuff about different subjects in writing and publishing and motivation as well, man. I just want to say, man, it is something that I really be looking forward to in the morning, man, and keep doing your thing, man. That jump be on point.
Man, I appreciate that. Like, that's all I want to do because, at one time I think we all were, first time authors, and we just needed that word of encouragement. We needed somebody to point us in that right direction because it's just you and your computer and your thoughts, right? And sometimes a lot of authors don't get to their best work because they give up too soon. I promise you, any struggle that any author is going through right now, we all been there, and I want to help somebody get through that.
Yes, sir. Man, I can think back to when I was was trying to break through. Of course, I wrote up a movie script first and hoping to do my own little thing in the film industry. It never panned out because things was never set into place for me. So, man, I took it upon myself, man. Well, actually, I met a couple authors, one in particular, author Jill Hunt. You know what I'm saying? I became real close friends with her. We met through the MySpace thing. And we got to talking and I sent her a copy of the script, man. And she was like, yo, man, this need to be a book. You know what I'm saying? And talking, thinking about it, it did. But I say that to say, man, she was there anytime I needed. I had questions because she was already a vet in the game. And then
Right.
she ended up turning me on. I told her who my favorite author was. And the next thing I know, for my birthday, she called me and had him on the phone. And I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I was at a Michael Jackson concert, man. So I definitely understand.
That's a
And,
good
and
look.
and he was there, man. He would never anytime I had a question or anything, or he'll just hit me up out the blue and man, it was beautiful, man. So as far as people that were surrounding me during that time, I really didn't have an issue. Now when it came to the publishing part, You know what I'm saying? I kind of without, I'm the type that don't like to bother nobody. So I went doing my own thing, trying to find a publishing, and that went astray. But that only lasts for a short while, and then they kind of like jacked me up by the collar and said, yo, and things turned out pretty well for me. So I definitely understand you, man, when you say, you know what I'm saying, when you're trying to get to the point of being an author, when you're inspiring and stuff, and I got you, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And that's the thing. I think nowadays is much easier because there's so much information, right? So honestly, there's no excuse for an author not to get to wherever they're trying to go to on their author journey, because I promise you, it's so much free information, right? It's matter of fact, it's almost to a point whereas we're suffering from information overload, right? There's so much out there that author can absorb. But so if they're if they're suffering from maybe writer's block, or maybe how to construct a good story plot, you know what I mean, character arc, whatever the case may be, there's so many blogs, there's so many YouTube videos. Like it's up to you to do your due diligence, research that information, and then apply that information. So when you came to the game, it wasn't that much. When I came to the game, it wasn't that much. But right now, to be honest and be a tad bit blunt, authors really don't have an excuse not to get it done, because if you can type in a URL, you can have anything that you need to know, at your fingertips.
You're right. Going back to what you said, you do not need any money to research, what you need to do to become an author. I mean, I know, and I'm not knocking authors that write books on one-on-one writing, books on how to become an author, or books on how to become published. I ain't knocking that, but if you spent on pennies and your pockets is deep in with lint, man, there's nothing wrong with going to YouTube. Hey, I go to YouTube a lot, bro.
I tell my daughter, right? I say, look, your dad is like, I treat YouTube like a college I'm gonna never graduate from. I'm never leaving YouTube. I promise you. I'm gonna be like an old head still at YouTube University. I'm never, because it's like that takes away a lot. Because if you no matter what you're searching, right? If you keep going down the line, you're going to find your answers sooner or later. Once again, this is real simple. I'm a common sense dude. Just apply whatever it is that you learn. And what happens, a lot of authors are scared they're unsure, right? And since they're unsure, you do have other, I don't want to call anybody names out, but we all know that we have vultures in our publishing industry, and they take advantage of authors not having that knowledge, right? And that's what they get over at. Right? Like, nah, if you just, have a little faith in yourself, willing to put a little bit of work in elbow grease, I promise you can go far in this game.
Yeah, right. Or you could just go follow my homie DK Walker on IG or Twitter and Facebook if you want to get some good stuff popping. Man,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Man, and the link is in the description, by the way. Before we get to cooking, bro, let's acknowledge some people that have rolled up in the chat, man. The homie, once again, Vader's in the building. Say, yo, what's happening? YS Books is here as usual. Appreciate you. Hey, we looking forward to getting that interview in, girl. Stop being shy. And also, check out my man. He got some good stuff for you. Just follow him and go through his stuff. I'm telling you, man, he is worth following.
Appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
Karen Reynolds in the building. This first time seeing you. How you doing, lady? Good to see you. Appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, that's my ride or die right there. That's my right hand person. You know what I mean?
I kind of figured that.
Yeah. She gonna come support and tell me the things I forget to say. Like, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna shout her out if I don't do nothing else. You know what I mean? So yeah, she's good folk.
Hey,
yes, sir.
Go to text her what you need to say. You say, Vader said, YouTube University PhD and still learning. Yes, sir.
Man, he know the truth. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Aaron back, we're right. Okay, man. Well, look, man. Enough of all the jibber jabbish. Shit, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Where you from? What you cooking? What you eat for breakfast? No, I'm just kidding, man. What's going on with you, bro?
I can't call it, man. A little bit about myself, man. For those that know, I am out of Washington, D.C., that's South Side, Southeast D.C., born and reared there. I currently reside in Waldorf, Maryland. I'm married, father of two beautiful girls that drive me crazy and keep my pockets on E.
Keep you grinding.
Yeah, I promise you that. If your sons is different, because you after your son get a point in age, you send him out, boy, go earn your keep, right? But when it's a daughter, like it's just protective spirit in men, right? We're going to protect and provide for our daughters like no other. Now, if it's a
Right.
boy, like if you don't get your man, if you don't like you, I was earning money when I was your age, right? But if it's a daughter,
Right.
and then of course your wife, you look at you like you so soft. Like my wife calls me Mr. Shaman. Like you get your cotton ass. Like I got no complaint. I am when it comes to my kids and I'm Mr. Shaman.
Okay,
Without an
then.
apology.
I feel you, bro. Hey, man, that's a lovely thing, man. I got 2 boys myself. Both of them graduated now, and they out there trying to do their own thing.
Congrats.
I hear from them when they need some.
Oh,
But
man.
out there, right now, they enjoying life, man. I ain't mad at them, man.
That's
I
what's up.
am
That's what's
not
up.
mad at them, man. So let's talk about these books, bro.
Okay, let's get into it.
Hey, look here, man. Look here. Some of these joints, man, look scrunches on this thing. Hey, man, I'm a man. Look here. I'm going to tell you, bro, if you don't already know. I love me some legs and I love some buttocks, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So when I'm looking at these here joints here, man, specifically them 2 there on the right there, man.
Okay.
Oh, and the one on the bottom over here look here, man. This is like, yeah, boy. Yes, so talk to us, man. Go down the list, man.
Well, I appreciate the love, my good man. You I promise you, I appreciate the love. My very first book I actually wrote was called The Ugly Side of Sex, right? That's the first one that's on to my right, which I'm looking at. That's in with the red lettering, right?
Right.
That was like semi-biographical on a very small scale. I actually there's a lot of things I experienced I actually put in the book. Now, of course, there's some places I embellished, right? You know what I mean, for author's sake, but for the most part, this my very interesting life experiences, like, you know, and I wrote from me, like, you know, people that know me and that has followed me, right? I'm a recovering, struggling, you know what I mean, porn addict, you know what I mean? I'm just being real, right? Like, I ain't gonna lie to the people because I got a podcast, like the Love Is podcast, and anybody that follows me on I like, we're very transparent on the podcast, right? And we soon to have you on, JC, by the way. But I tell people my story is that, you know what I mean, struggling porn addict, struggling recovering sex addict. Right now, I'm a little older now, so I do much more cuddling than anything else, and plus I'm married. So the shenanigans I put my first two wives through, my wife ain't going for this. Like, you be having this show, like, just talk about what a good guy I was. Keyword past tense was, right? Like, my wife was, yeah, I promise. Like, hey, DJ was real helpful, and yeah, okay, but he did because he couldn't get that devil off his back. But the first book, man, that was my easiest one to write because it was me not being creative for pulling out of, you know, just making stuff up as I went along. It was actually me pulling stuff out of my past, and, you know, just being honest, right? Like, if you think about the title, Ugly Side of Sex, it makes a person wonder, like, okay, we all know sex to be wonderful, grand, whatever the case may be. So what is the ugly side of it, right? And so get you to thinking, the ugly side is being addicted. Addiction to anything is the ugly side, right? You can be addicted to anything. And so with that being said, I spoke from being a sex addict, you know, not whereas from the vein of getting help. I spoke quick from, you know, the highs and the, like, I took the reader on the highest of highs. But, you know, once you take a reader on that journey, whereas they got to come down. Right, they have to. They didn't see. So I was, as the reader believed that it was going high, and it was like, well, how much higher can I go? They didn't understand until books end. Like, okay, I'm writing, but I'm bringing you closer to the end, whether you realize it or not. Right. Right. Without giving too much away, the antagonist in the book was this chick by the name of Bones, and she knew DK whole life story, like, you know. And then so she came to him one night, and Jai, like, you know what I mean, she wanted to hear. He been trying to get with her since day one, right? Since he knocked them all down. Like, he didn't discriminate at all. And he did some wild, crazy cowboy shit. When I say wild, crazy, I mean literally wild, crazy cowboy shit. And so he trying to get with her, and she was like, you can get with me, but I need you to tell me your story one last time. And then he like, okay, I'm gonna tell you, but why do I need to tell you? You know the story better than me. Right. And so, like, I'm gonna leave it right there because, like, that book is still available on Amazon, cheap plug. But yeah, you need to, because, like, it takes you someplace. You're gonna get uber aroused. I promise you, dude. You know what I mean? If you want to try something new with your lady, y'all read that together. It's two things, and I'm not, I'm trying my best to be modest. It's a great read, but in the same doggone token, there's a lesson as you get through the book. Right. And that was my whole point. I think what happens with erotic writers, and I'm not saying all, some, is they fall in the crutch of erotica. My thing is, no matter what genre that you write, make sure that the genre is just a vehicle, but the story is the gas in the vehicle. A lot of people just fall back. I'm gonna write a couple of hot sex scenes, and like that's just watching today's porn. Like I'm 51. They don't make porn like it used to. Like porn used to be movies. Like porn used to be real live. Like when I say, like you didn't have to enjoy yourself. You can get some popcorn because you got a script, you got the props, you got like, a movie. Nowadays it goes straight to the clip. Like what happened to the theatrics? Can you entertain me before I abuse myself?
Look at him, man. They want to get in and out, man. They don't want to waste no more time on stuff. They got to.
Facts.
Okay, that's what it is, man. Hey, so your first book was pretty much like a learning type deal, huh?
Right. It was that, and then I wanted, not to be too long with it, but I just wanted people to, realize that, there's a lot of books out there that's dealing with, sexual addiction, but not to the point where as it's being informative, entertaining, and like when you get to the end of the book, it's going to make you really reevaluate, is it worth being addicted to? I will give the readers that, right?
Right.
Say the least.
Okay. My lady Karen is saying right. She got the side eyebrow. She know. And then Vader said, "Oh, no cleavage." He mad because you don't. He a titty man. He mad because you ain't got no cleavage out there. But it is.
Vader, I do apologize. I do. I actually married my wife because she's blessed. Like, I'm sorry I didn't put that on my covers, but in my personal life, like I married that. So look, it is what it is.
That what it is. He says he laughing at the struggling addict and he say full feature movie plot, storyline, and damn villain. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And that's right, and that's the whole principles of a good book, right? Like people overthink the process, right? So if you don't mind, JC, I'm gonna go and share a little something with the people, right? So any authors that's out there listening, like let me give y'all something real easy, right? And people think I'm crazy when I say this, but it's all right, right? I pride myself on common sense to 101. I don't overthink anything. If you can't master anything until you understand it, and we're living in a day and age when we overstand things, and therefore it intimidates us, and 9 times out of 10 we stop. Right. That's why a lot of great authors die with their stories inside of them. The easiest way to get your book out of you is look at a book for what it is. A book. I need people to listen up right here. A book is nothing more than an elongated paragraph. That's all a book is. And you're like, DK, what you talking about? Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what I'm talking about. Right. A paragraph has an opening, like a book. And just like in a book, that opening scene of your book needs to grab people by their collars and shake the fuck out of them. So you gotta get their attention. I'm not gonna buy no book, right? If I'm not in, like, okay, I'm gonna give you let's go to school. Like, look, I'm not gonna buy no book if I don't read the first chapter, and the first chapter don't tell me that it's worth paying money for. And if you don't believe what I'm telling you to be true, why is it when you go to Amazon, right? And Amazon lets you have a sneak peek at what? The first chapter. You don't make your You don't make your buying decision because of the title. You don't make your buying decision because of the cover. You don't make your buying decision partly because of the blurb on the back. Your buying decision because of the content of your book. If you nail home that, you good to go. And just like a paragraph, which is the middle of the book, right? That substantiates the beginning, and like a paragraph, you have an ending. Then that ties up the loose ends. A doggone great book is nothing but an elongated paragraph. And once you master that style of writing, you can tell a great story all day long because you're not overstanding the situation. You understanding it, and it's easier to take the readers along on that journey.
Right. Okay. That's what it is. Y'all heard that, man? Y'all look at him. This man here should have a Patreon. He's spitting game. Y'all need to recognize, man. Okay, man. So what's up with the next book? Which one was the next one that you came out with?
The next one that's in, if my memory serves me correctly, it got to be It got to be dirty secrets of clean sheets, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm struggling. Like, as this goes on, I'll tell you why. It's because, but the reason it has to be dirty secrets of clean sheets. Now that was a freebie. Like, and I had that book free for a long time. Now, of course, you can go on Amazon and buy it, but I used to have that as a freebie to help me build up my email list. Right. That there was just a collection of short stories. Once again, I was still blessed with more stories in the arsenal. So I wasn't, making these things up. I was just actually recalling past experiences. But the twist to each story is there was a moral conflict. Once again, I didn't rely on that I'm writing erotica and rested on the fact that I'm using sex to, like, no. I'm giving you a story within sex. Of course, you'll be excited, but as you read that, you're going to have an aha moment, or it's going to make you think, right? Like
Right.
Right, because you got to give them more than what they expect. Like, you just can't rest on, like, that was a hot sex scene. Because what happens is, like, you have regular sex, as soon as you skeet, that's a wrap. You know what I mean? Like, you're not taking notes talking about that was unless you're married or in a long-term relationship. But if it's just like you just, you know what I mean, some random, as soon as you done, you looking at the door. She want to call you, like, no. Yeah, we're coming. You got a big excuse why you're trying to get out the door. And that's what happened with a lot of authors. They rely on, and that's for erotic authors. They're relying on heavily on sex, and story moves any book. Like, no matter what genre, that you're writing, story moves the book. Not the sex scenes, right? Not the sex scenes if you're writing that, not the love scenes if you're writing romance. You know what I mean? Not the thriller or whatever if you're writing espionage and all that stuff. It's the story that turns the page. Once you understand the difference, like, you become 10 times better than author,
Yeah, most definitely. Vader said that was real spit. Never thought of it like that. He referring to one of those things you said back there.
Right. Yeah. I appreciate that, Vader. I appreciate that, my good friend. I truly do. But I had one of the better times. Like, it was my easiest write was, of course, my first book, because I was fresh off memories. The way I actually got into the game, I never forget it. I just got with my third wife. Now, we wasn't married at the time. And you know how you get with somebody like, oh my God, like body banging. I'm like, Lord have mercy. But she's like, it's crazy. My wife, she was smart, right? She slow walked. I'm thinking I'm gonna go ahead and handle my handle. And I'm glad she did slow walk me, because if she didn't slow walk me, I probably wouldn't have married her. Right. Like, come to turn out, like, she was just as nasty as I was later on. Right. But she was like, no, I'm tired of going down this road. I'm a slow walk you, you know what I mean? So, but she used to work at a community college, and they offered courses online, right? This is way back before courses was a thing. And I told her when we first, linked up, I was like, yo, I want to, because we had these discussions, like, what do you want to do? And I want to self-publish. And she looked at me like, I've never met nobody that wanted to. Like, okay, you're unique, not a problem. I'm one of a kind. She would soon learn that. So with her, she brought a packet home and then log in information, because she got her stuff from her college for free. And so she gave me the login information, and then that's how I actually got started. And it's been on and popping since then.
That's what it is, man. Hey, KD, hang on for a second, man. Let me pay a bill right quick. Hey, yo, for all those that don't know, this is your boy, author KD Walker, man. And as you can see, the author, the stuff that he has on the screen and stuff, man, I'm just excited to have him on and talking. We chopping up, having a good time, man. If you're in the building, please hit the like, the heart, or whatever you feel is equivalent to this live. You know what I'm saying? We working. But the second half of this interview is sponsored by
Hi, you guys. It's your girl, Untamed. And I want to know, have you read a book by Untamed? If not, what are you waiting for? Might I suggest my series books, Never Again No More, or The View? You can pick them up on Amazon or on www.untamedpublishing.net. Also, don't forget to get caught up with Untamed Publishing. We offer free book reviews and author interviews. Just visit www.untamedpublishing.net/contact. I can't wait for you to get caught up.
It's your boy JC. I'm just an author with a lot to say with the homie DK Walker in the building. DK, you got another we don't have to get into it, but you got something else on Kindle, man, that's kind of like a help book or something.
Which one is that? Because I've been put out quite a few PDFs to help authors.
See what I'm saying? You say less. Look, if you want some help, man, follow this Joker, man. See what he got rolling, especially like in the Kindle, man. He got self-help book, and I don't even think if you pay anything, it's a small fee. I got mine, and it definitely helped me.
I appreciate that, sir.
Man. Yeah, man.
Thank you.
So go ahead.
Yeah, well, thank you for that plug on, because I actually forgot. Like, it's kind of crazy. It's been a minute, but like you had alluded to earlier, even if you don't get up early enough, because I tried to drop that 3 a.m. writing gym on IG. That's something I'm trying to do for a solid year. I started on my birthday, and I want to finish up on my birthday. Now, granted, sometimes I don't catch 3, but I never miss a day. Maybe missing, I get between 3:30ish. 4 o'clock-ish, no later than 5-ish. I'm gonna give you something. It'll be live. But if you go to my page, it's always there, because I always go ahead and make sure I upload it to the page. And so if you don't catch me live, you can definitely catch the replay on my IG page. Like, so that's definitely not a problem. But anybody that wants, to actually get ahead in the game, just follow me or hit me in my DMs and whatnot. We'll construct a plan that get you where you want to go to in your author journey. That's definitely not a problem.
The link is in the description, baby. All right, man. So book number 3.
Yeah. That's Bad Kenny. That's the one upper top left with my man with his hands over his face, right? Okay. And actually, the K in DK is Kenny, right? Like, quiet as kept. Let me go and be fully transparent, right? Yesterday was my old man's birthday. Like, man, he rested in paradise. I'm sorry that he's no longer here. He didn't get a chance to meet his granddaughter, but that's either here nor there. But I wanted to pay homage to him, right? So my author name is DK Walker, right? So Donald Kemp, that's my father, not a problem. My publishing company, NL Publishing, is actually named after my mother. If you play Scrabble, any word game, you know that you can spell letters. So her first name is Nettie. Her middle name is Lee, right? So I took the first N as in Nettie, L is in, and that's how I got NL Publishing, right? So that's just me paying homage back to my parents, because they've been so supportive of me in the years, especially when the dude was just out there like running crazy, you know what I mean? And of course my mother prayers definitely kept me safe and kept me coming back home at night. But yeah, so that one right there, Bad Kenny, once again, is definitely an erotic book, but it leans more so on story. But I gotta tell the readers, man, the sex in that book is very dark, right? Because it's about acceptance, right? It's about facing who you are as a person. So that's one thing about an author, right? You can actually lose yourself in your characters. What happens is, you can actually lose yourself in your characters, and you should. If you want your characters to be believable, if you want the readers to be fully, vested in what they're reading, then you gotta bring your characters to life. And the best way to bring your characters to life is for you to bleed over into your characters, right? I don't spend a crazy amount of time in character development. I don't, right? I'm quick writing hack. I role play my ass off. So whatever character that you read in my book is just a variation of me. And it could be a female character, it could be a white character. You know what I mean? No matter what that character is, I have no problem losing myself in that character. I don't got no hangups. I'm comfortable in my skin, right? And so when people come up to me, or if I get the doggone, I read the reviews, or they be like, I can't believe, did that really? And it's so believable, because I'm willing, even when stuff didn't happen, because I write like as if it was me doing these things.
Right. Wow. So it's safe to say that some of your life experiences is in the books.
Oh, for sure. Like, man, like I told you, I was a struggling, recovering, faltering, you know what I mean? yeah, a lot. And that was the beauty of it. Like, because I didn't want to be honest, right? Let's keep it a buck. I didn't want to be that person to that extent anymore. If you read The Ugly Side of Sex, like, that dude had issues. Like, he had real live motherfucking issues. Like, he was dumb. Right, he wouldn't turn down nothing but his collar on the cold day, and he'd think twice about that. That's all he was doing, right? So he was in, you know what I mean, and he had no cut calls, no qualms. He was like real live with that thing. But I know that it had to come a point in time I had to make a choice, and this is me personally. It had nothing to do with the author. It had nothing to do with the books. It's like I had to ask myself, did I want to continue to live my life like this? Like
Right.
it can't be just, you know what I mean, bang everything moving. It can't be that, right? It can't be me, you know, being a slave to sex, because what happens is, you know, sex, you know, for lack of better words, becomes your God, right? Because you live it, you eat it, breathe it, you do all that. So I was like, you know what? I have to actually get off of this roller coaster. And so it was very therapeutic for me to actually start to write about it, right? So, yeah.
Shout out to my man, Novel Eden. He says, peace, love, and joy, brother. God bless your work, Mr. DK Walker. We look forward to having you in the Multicultural Writing Collective. That is a group on Facebook, bro. I'll plug you in.
Please
after
do.
the interview, man. They have great things going on in there. Salute to you, Eden, man. Appreciate you coming through. All right, man. Look here, man. Last but not least, man. Look here. This is man. I kind of, before we get to the full book, I just want to say, man, I kind of feel you on putting like some of your life experiences in the book. I mean, every book that I have wrote, you know, it is something that has touched me one way or the other in my life, whether it's personally, fantasizing, or just something I know from other people have that I write, man. It is what drives my story, man. So I definitely understand you, where you're coming from, what part of your life story in the book, and how the story drives even an erotica piece. You know what I'm saying? Man, last but not least, man, these legs over here, bro. And, look here, man. You know, everybody that know me, man, know I love me some pretty feet and toes, bro. Look here, man. Look here. Booty, natural. I look here. If you don't have shots and balloons put in your ass, man, I'm not. Look here, man. Look, man,
balloons.
Yeah, man. But
it's true, but it's funny.
Man, I love a booty, man, especially a booty with some tiger stripes on it, bro. I love some nice legs, bro. I love and look like everything from waist down, bro. Look, man, look here. I can't say you gotta look like a gorilla and have all those features and I still deal with you, man. But look here. Hey. Look, man. I love me some booty legs and feet, bro. And
I'm sure I'm not mad at you. I'm not. Like everybody like what they like, man. And you are grown enough to like what you like. Like, man, by all means, like what you like.
Yeah, but nah, you still gotta have a nice personality, man. But you know, I could put up with a little mess, you know, if you got it down like that. My homeboy Vado on here saying facts. He know he one of them 3-headed monsters that's been on my show, man. Okay. He know me well, man. He knows, man. I ain't into. You can have some nice breasts. Look, I'm not. Look, I don't turn a blind eye for him now. But bruh, for some reason, man, I just love me some booty, man. Anyway, man, let's get. Man.
I'm not mad. I understand.
Hey, man. I know most men look at me side, and I'm gonna let you get to your book, man. But
you good.
When we get to talking about massages, I know most cats they'll hit them tatas before they hit them butt. Look here, man. When I say massage, any woman that with me, she already know to lay on her stomach, man. But go ahead on.
Girl, stop playing with me. Assume the position.
Yes, sir. I'm rubbing booty for a whole hour.
I don't know no woman that's gonna complain. You know what I mean? No woman's gonna complain. You hear me? Oh man, but the fourth book is actually a continuation of the third book. So the third one is Bad Kenny's first story. The fourth one is Bad Kenny's second story, and it's a continuation of just of acceptance, right? So you had the in the first one, which is the third book, you know, you had the main character just coming to grips with his sexuality, right? Whatever that may be. He's a straightforward guy, right? But he has this darkness about him, and he meets this doggone white chick, and she starts to pull his strings, right? And she introduces him to things that he's never been introduced before, and he takes to it like a fish in water. So now he looking at himself different, like, damn, it's that been inside of me all along, right? Like, because it was easy for her to like spin them and get them in the web, right? That's the third one. Now the fourth one, it goes even deeper because God, the cast of characters that I introduced into that book is a who's who of fuckery. Like, I promise you, it's a who's who of, like, you got and everybody has a certain particular sexual hang up, right? So you have a cop in there that's just off the doggone, like, off the meat rack, right? The cop has a doggone niece that's a drop dead gorgeous, prostitute, right? Who happens to fall for the main character of the book. Now I won't give too much of away, but the crooked cop is beefing with the main character in the book, and he don't know that he's now dating his niece. He actually falls in love with a prostitute, right? And people ask him, like, is it even possible to fall in love with a prostitute? And can you accept a prostitute for what they do, right? And some people, like, if you're in an open relationship, so I don't understand the difference. Like, if you're already, and I'm not knocking nobody's hustle. I'm not passing no judgment. Whatever floats your boat, whatever gets you through in life, right? Because, like, okay, quiet as kept. Like before I got married to my current and final wife, like, and I know she's much older than me, but to this day, knowing what she did, I would still marry her. And I'm talking about Vanessa Del Rio.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly. So you understand? I just right.
DK, I ain't mean to cut you off. I'm very suspicious about a woman's past, bro. About how many she been with and what she's done. But look here, man. Man, I forgive all of that Vanessa go to hell video, and look, I forgive all that for some.
I'm trying to tell you, me. So you can love anybody, but the twist in this, the fourth one is, it wasn't so much, the main character loving his love interest. It was the fact that she didn't necessarily love herself. That was the point of contention. There was so much going on, but in it, the real struggle had nothing to do with the crooked cop and the main character beefing. Had nothing to do with the white chick that came from the third book over to the fourth book, pulling strings behind the scenes, because she actually controls the crooked cop to a certain degree, right? And the ending is crazy. I promise you, the ending you're not gonna see coming. And then once you see it, you can be like, oh, damn, shit. And then, and I'm gonna get to, actually it's supposed to be a third installment of that, but I've started helping the writers do their thing. We'll talk about it in a second too. But long story short, the point of tension in the fourth book, which is the second edition of Bad Candy, right? The second story, pardon me, is the simple fact of just having this woman who was a prostitute that wants to get out of the game, really love herself, accept her own self and the things that she has done, is doing, and will continue to do, because she's dealing with the guy he's uber successful, and he still loves her and still allows her to go turn tricks. Right?
What?
Exactly. He not tripping, and quiet as kept. That's his thing. He gets off on messy seconds.
Yeah. Damn.
So, right, I take you down that rabbit hole, but once again, it's like I said, sex is cool, but it's the story driving the book, and then I'm always going to put morality issues at play, because, like, if I have the characters dealing with what they believe right and wrong, and I blur those lines, then the reader is going to reflect upon their own lives and what they believe in, and that's how you hook a reader, right? You have to spend less money on marketing, because like the marketing actually is your book. The interior of your book is your best marketing. Once you write a good book, they're gonna be on the hunt for another book. If you if you have written a lot, they're gonna read all of your books. But if your first book is a killer, they on a hunt, and they pressing you out for that second one. So I tell authors, if you really want to have a great marketing plan and marketing scheme, no marketing beats what's inside of your book. Because once you expose them to what you've written, like, you got a fan for life. That's the company you should always be writing. Like, you should always, every day, I don't care if you got to write a short story, paragraph, 2 sentences, who knows, who cares? Write every day. That's the only way that you're going to get better as an author.
Yeah. Hey, man, and they'll push you for a third book too, man. If it's good.
For sure.
Hey, look at here. JC need to take advice from you, DK. The past is the past unless he gonna do it to you. Man, look. No, sir. No, sir. Then he come back with The real dudes out there are like messy seconds, thirds, and fourths. Only in Augusta. He's talking about our city. Man, get out of here, man. I ain't with this. Look, I understand you got to deal with, everybody got to pass and you.
Facts.
But I don't want to know about it. If you don't been in several, been in several orgies and or trains,
so Jason,
I don't want to know about it.
Jay, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. I'm trying to understand here, right? So, like, okay, you meet a girl, right? And then she's good at, bobbing and weaving, right? So do you think to yourself, right? Do you have this thought like, okay, she's a natural or she's had a lot of practice? Or at that point in time, to be honest, it should make a difference. If she's skillful, it shouldn't even make a difference how she be skillful. We don't ask Michael Jordan, are you a great basketball player because you were gifted or because you put all those hours in the gym? We're just thankful that he's because Kobe's the greatest. He's the second greatest of all time. We don't look a gift in the mouth. We appreciate the gift. We appreciate the horse.
Hey man, why you gonna try to turn that jet like that on me, man? No, man, I can't make you flip it like that.
That's the only thing I'm saying, man. Sometimes you don't ask no question, there will be no lies.
Hey, my boy right, he say he gonna leave her right there. Yes, sir. Man, I ain't fooling with you, DK, man. Hey,
if you leave, look. If you leave, I'll be there to pick up. I'm that type of guy.
I let you have it, bro. Yeah, I let you have it. And look, a fist pump and a dap on the way when we pass. There you go.
Man, that's true G shit. True G shit. You hear me?
So are these rights that you just talked about, are they full-fledged novels or are they like short stories or
3 out of the 4 are full-fledged. The Dirty Secrets of Clean Sheet is a short, right? It's a compilation, I want to say, of 10 stories, and then it has some excerpts of my other books in the back, right? But the other 3 are full-fledged novels. Okay then. Well, damn, man. Woo. Yo, how do you I know that you take a lot from yourself, but right quick, man, because there's a couple other questions I want to ask you before we get off. How do you develop your characters? Are they something that just magically come out of from nowhere, or you kind of like, okay, I'm just going to match this personality with this person and just run through the scenario? To be honest, it's me. I'm going to be keeping a buck, right? That's all me. So what happens is I don't do like some authors, they write out the whole, like the only time I write out a character's characteristics because I don't want to lose them. I want to write the same thing if they're from a certain place and they need to be a certain place throughout the book. If they act a certain way, they have to act a way throughout a certain book. As far as the way that they interact throughout the book and what they say, that's just me putting myself in that position. Even if it's a female character, you know what I mean? That's me. Right. And that's what I meant earlier when I said you got to lose yourself in the character. Like you can't have no hangups. Like if a dude is writing a book, and I'm trying to be short-winded as best, you know what I mean? If a dude is writing a female character, he can't have no hangups when it comes time for that female character to have sex. You got to like mentally, it's nothing but you're writing, but people like you can't have no hangups. Like,
right.
At all. So
man, this has been a fun, and time have passed us too fast. Right quick, so what advice would you give to an inspiring author if they come up to you and ask you for advice?
Couple of things, I'll be quick. Write from an honest vein, right? That means write with like there's a book inside of everybody has a book inside of them, right? You get that book out the way first. And because that book is going to bother you to the day you die if you do not get you whatever it's about. It doesn't have to be what's trending. It doesn't have to be what's hot. Get that book out of the way first and write it from an honest vein. And the other thing is, don't take advice from people that don't write. Don't take advice from people that's not authors. Like you wouldn't do that. Like, and a lot of people do that. They want to get validated between their girlfriends. They like, nah, if they're not authors, please don't go talk to them people because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They don't. And then you come back to me because I help people put their books together and I give them a sound game plan. But I talk to my husband. Okay, does your husband write? What does your husband do? oh, your husband's a janitor. What? It don't make it don't make sense to me. Like, what you at that point in time, I know that I just be quiet and I realize, okay, I work for you, and whatever you want to do, we're going to do what you want to do because I work for you. But I'm going to
Right.
give you the sound advice at first, right? So, like I tell people, just don't take advice from people that's not doing what you're doing.
Right. Man, this shit has been fun, man. We're gonna have to come back, man, and get a part two in somewhere and somehow, bro. Man, give me some last words, bro. Get us out of here.
All right, quick. I'll be quick with it. First of all, thank you from the bottom of my heart. So, man, you've been doing this tango, and we finally linked up and did something phenomenal. Like, it means a lot to me to be on your show, and that's no fluff, no filter. I honestly believe that. Thank you, and we're gonna link up soon to make something pop. I guarantee you that. Look, man, I ain't gonna be too deep and I ain't gonna be too long-winded. As far as authors out there, like, don't compare where you at now to somebody's present, because somebody has, like, they've done what you're trying to do, right? Stay down, stay humble, keep writing and whatnot. Developing off the circle, right? Have somebody that's slightly better than you, right? That you can always lean on to for doggone guidance. You know what I mean? And stay dedicated to your craft. Whatever you do, stay dedicated to your craft.
Yes, sir. Man, my man. Hey, be sure to, man, grab, man, the homie one of his books, man, off the shelf. Hey, man, these in paperback and Kindle, or just Kindle?
No, they're in both paperback and Kindle. You can get everything on Amazon. You can definitely get everything on Amazon.
I know a lot of you ladies, y'all out there. Oh, also, Shakita Dow is in the chat. She's saying facts, and she agreed with what you said, and she ended it with a 100, man. Be sure to take advice from people that know what they're talking about, man. You be sure to go to but the links is in the description. Be sure to go check out my man DK Walker books, man. I'm sure it's something there for everybody, especially you women. I know y'all got toys. You know what I'm saying? You can read a little bit, use your toy, give you a reason to use that new toy you got for Christmas. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
Appreciate you, man. 100, man. I look forward to chopping it up with you again, man, in the near future, man. We definitely gonna have to come back and do a part two whenever you get something new rolling or whatever, man. And I look forward to coming on your platform, man, and chopping it up about everyday life situations, man. I'm down with it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Hey, and that's gonna happen soon, by the way. Like I said, my folks gonna reach out to you, man. As soon as we get that date locked in, that's gonna happen.
Bring it on, bro. Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. I'll get with you in a few seconds.
Yes, sir.
My man DK Walker was in the building, man. Big shout out to that brother, man. Please be sure to cop his books, man. The links is in the description. He got 4 books to choose for. Also, he got some author self-help books, man. Just be sure to check my man out, man. Man, that brother, hey, he is what is much needed in this game, man. I can tell you from experience, there are a lot of authors out there, man, that look at you, and especially if you inspiring authors look at you as competition, man, and they have no desire to help you. And I'm talking about our own complexion, man. So you know what I'm saying? He's somebody look like, if you ever have any questions, man, you can always come to him. He got advice. He also put out inspiring videos in the mornings on his IG, and that can be very helpful to anybody, whether you're an inspiring author or an old vet like myself. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, it's your boy JC. I'm just an author with a lot to say, man. That is our time, man. Until next time, I see y'all Wednesday on the Three-Headed Monster gig. You know what I'm saying? Peace.